know who has the nation's longest winning streak in college football? If you said the Oregon Ducks, you would be right. Nope, it's not the Washington Huskies. It's not the Georgia Bulldogs anymore. It's those Oregon Ducks. Do us a big favor if you don't mind. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel right here at the College Huddle. Hopefully, we earn your subscription. If you're an Oregon fan and you're not subscribed to College Huddle, please do that. If you're a college football fan, you have found a great home for you to come discuss college football. You never know what we're going to be bringing on, who we're going to be bringing on, or what we're going to be talking about here on the College Huddle. And of course, we would love to know what you think about what we think down in the comments section below. Everybody is still talking about what was an amazing game this past Saturday over there in Happy Valley when Oregon defeated Penn State in double overtime, bringing home another huge Big Ten Conference victory. This one in a hostile environment with over 105,000 plus screaming Penn State fans, all wearing their white in the whiteout. But yet it was Oregon that flew across country and then flew back to Eugene with a W. And oh, by the way, they're flying back to Autzen Stadium where they have the nation's current longest winning streak at 18 games, going all the way back to their last loss in 2022 against those rival Huskies who had a 22 game home winning streak until that was snapped this past Saturday by the Buckeyes. Speaking of the Buckeyes, that's the last time the Ducks lost. That was to Ohio State in the second round of the college football playoff in the Rose Bowl. But it was those Ducks who beat the Buckeyes in Autzen last season by 1 point to secure that home winning streak. And it sure looks like those same Ducks, those same Oregon Ducks, are just as good. Dare I say, maybe a little better than they were last year? Sure seems like there's some things that are a little bit more positive about this football team. And I'll tell you this much, that Dan Lanning, the head coach of the Ducks, well, he's one more season seasoned, if you will. One more season with more experience under his belt. And I got to give it to him. You got to hand Dan Lanning some credit, man. Go and look up his stats. This guy is just on an absolute heater to start his career, man. Next to the Ryan Day and Kirby Smart, as far as their beginning of their coaching careers, Dan Lanning is right there, and he's younger than both of them. 40-6 overall as head coach in college football. Although in all those 4 years, this one being his fourth, all 4 years being in Eugene. 10-3 his first season, 12-2 his second season, 13-1 his third season, getting better by one game every single year. And now here he sits in 2025, 5-0 with a massive road game, probably the most impressive road win. I said game, road win out of anybody's resume right now, right? Yeah, I know Caleb DeBoer's win in Athens, Georgia, mighty impressive, mighty impressive. But it's tainted because of what happened at the beginning of the season against Florida State. So Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks are doing it, and they're doing it with some pizzazz and some style that's really catching people's attention, including that of CBS Sports, who and Thomas Cassell, who wrote today that Dante Moore is the new favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. Now, betting odds are betting odds. I get it. You know, there's betting odds could be there's 100 different things that go into that. But winning on the road in double overtime and the way you did it obviously doesn't hurt, right? But Dante Moore is having an incredible season right now. And what he showed in that game in Happy Valley, under the lights, in a whiteout, I'm not so sure that these Ducks aren't better than the Ducks last year that everybody thought was the best team in the country. And when you begin to look at what's left on their schedule, it's easy to see that number one, I think they're a shoe-in to go back to the college football playoff. I think that they're probably the front runner to get back to Indianapolis and play for another Big Ten championship game. They beat Penn State last year. Will it be someone like Ohio State this year? Maybe Michigan? Could it be a rematch against Penn State? Only time will tell. But they're going to probably get back to Indy. And there's really only one team standing in their way, in my opinion, left on their schedule who can stop them from doing that. And oh yeah, by the way, they could also be the team that stops this home winning streak that the Ducks are on, currently the best in the country. And that team happens to be the Hoosiers of Indiana. I know, I know. Come on, Boggs. What are you serious about that? Yeah. Oregon's going to be on their bye week this week. And when they come off their bye week, they're going to be back home on Saturday, October 11th. And those Indiana Hoosiers are going to be there. The number 8 ranked Hoosiers. The Hoosiers that absolutely dismantled Illinois, who was everybody's preseason darling to be the Indiana of 2025. And Indiana said, no, I think we're still going to be the Indiana of 2025. Dismantled them. Those Hoosiers who went on the road last week and won a gutsy game in Iowa in Kinnick, which is a tough place to play. There's been a lot of hopes and dreams of a lot of really good football teams that have gone into Kinnick Stadium and had those dreams absolutely dashed by that special teams and defense that resides in Iowa City. And Indiana almost had that happen to them, but they didn't. They survived. And so now Curt Cignetti, coming off those two massive wins against Illinois and Iowa, now is sitting in a place where he can go into Autzen Stadium and play spoiler to the Ducks and their season and their opportunity to not only add to that home winning streak, but to get back to a Big Ten championship game. But can he beat Dan Lanning? It is a fascinating head coaching matchup. It has got a ton of storylines to it. And the reason why I am leaning towards Oregon winning that game is because of that home field advantage. And I think Dan Lanning he understands this team. He understands the pulse of this team, the vibe of this team, all of those things that make up the chemistry of a football team. He seems to be just tuned into it, connected to it on such a deep level with his players. You watch the difference between James Franklin on the sideline and Dan Lanning on the sideline, and it's easy to see why players are attracted to playing under Dan Lanning. Obviously, Phil Knight's money doesn't hurt. Money doesn't hurt anything. But you can throw all the money in the world at a kid. If that kid's not motivated to improve, to develop, and to pour his heart and soul into a game plan that's set forth by that coaching staff, the amount of money doesn't amount to a hill of beans. But it's obviously resulting in tremendous success in Eugene for the Ducks. And that's one of the reasons why I think the talent that Oregon has will overcome any kind of game planning Curt Cignetti is going to have his Hoosiers doing in a couple weeks when they go into Oregon. I think this Oregon football team is on a crash course with Ohio State. And I'm here for it because I think this new budding rivalry between the Ducks and the Bucks is one of the best new rivalries in college football. It's got pizzazz. It's got Nike tied to it. It's got Phil Knight and Les Wexner tied to it through their donations to their universities. It's got two of the best coaches, like I mentioned, Dan Lanning, Ryan Day. It's got some of that new blue blood in Oregon versus old traditional blue blood. Woody Hayes, uh, Jim Tressel, right? Earl Bruce in Ohio State, Paul Brown, and the clash of the bright, vibrant colors of yellow and green versus the traditional, historical scarlet and gray. Brutus and the Duck. I mean, it's got all the elements of a tremendous new rivalry, and the fan bases are chirpy online, and they have a lot of fun jostling one another. And now you've got the Ducks with the 1 point win, and then later in the season, the Bucks with the redemption. Doesn't it feel like those two teams are just on a destiny crash course for Indianapolis for chapter number 3 of this new Big Ten rivalry? It sure feels that way to me, and sign me up for it as a college football fan. I'm all here for it, man. And so I think Dan Lanning and these Oregon Ducks, are they the second best team in college football? Are they the first best team in college football? Or do you think they're better than Ohio State? Offensively, they sure feel like they can do a little bit more than what the Buckeyes have shown so far offensively. But on the flip side, man, that Ohio State defense is just absolutely locked down. But Oregon defensively looked really good until they seemed to run out of gas at the end of the fourth quarter there in the whiteout. So much going on. But here's the thing that I want to stress in this video. Dan Lanning has got a ton of momentum, not only this season and with his team and as a head coach and with his coaching style, but in recruiting and in the program development and in the culture. He's on an absolute heater. And if you look at Ohio State and Oregon as the two conference best teams in a conference, I'm not so sure that they're not head and shoulders better than what the SEC can deliver with their best two as well. Let me know what you think about what I think down the comment section below. Enjoy your bye week, Oregon fans. Sit back, watch some college football, have some fun without any stress, and get yourself ready for what's going to be an absolute massive game the following Saturday when the Hoosiers come to town to take on the Ducks. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're gonna be right here all for it on the College Huddle. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Let's continue to build our community here at the College Huddle, one college football fan at a time. Till next time.